live. Yeah.
What happened to being nice without reason, man? All I see on TV and the paper stands is the lies that they feed to keep the upper hand. And we starving for truth, so we biting in. Okay, you know what happened to it takes a whole village. Built on every single color, not privilege. If we all work together, we can fix this. Yeah, divided we fall, but together we.
Should we put Butthole Biden up?
Sure.
Look at that salty dog. You got dog pecker flies on there and everything. Sorry, I was bored this morning.
No problem.
All right. Got a little Brandon Hart rocking here. Which one do I got going here? There, we got that one. All right, here we are. Ricardo Torres back in the house. Welcome, Ricardo.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend anybody's, sensitivities or anything with the Biden thing, but I was bored this morning, and I thought, you know what?
Yeah.
I thought, he reminds me of, dog pecker flies. Like you'll see like those old dogs, like those old shaggy dogs, those old mangy things that are like in the summertime when it's really hot and they're like on the side of the road and they're like sitting over there, just like hang up, and they got like these weird little flies buzzing around their balls, It's like, look at the dog pecker flies. I remember I said that to a dude in prison at one point because there was fruit flies everywhere. I think it was because the guy was making hooch or some shit back there. And I was like, hey, dude, man, there's dog pecker flies all over the place, And dude's like, dog pecker flies? He's like, what the fuck you saying, man? He's like, you got some of the craziest shit comes out of your mouth from Wyoming. And I'm like, you never heard of a dog pecker fly? He's like, no. And so he started up this shit. He's like, dog pecker flies only come in one size, I mean, but I don't know. I just kind of, I don't know. I was just trying to come up with something. So I thought, I'll just take Biden's face and put him on the butthole of a dog with a big old ball sack hanging off. And I found the perfect picture, and hey, it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me this doesn't work. Come on. I mean, where did it go? Oh, it's on the other one, isn't it? It's on my intro card, I think. Oh, well, I can bring it up later.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, we can bring it up right now. There it is again. There it is. One more shot. Look at that. Look at that, Mr. Winky. Right there, big old butthole looking right at you.
Oh, my God.
Those dog pecker flies. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Early morning antics. I had to do something to keep me sane. So we're going to, anyway, like we were just talking, I've said enough about we're just gonna try and stay away from the shootings. Fuck this shit. I'm done with it. I've said what I had to say. I'm over it. I'm sure you all are over it too. You don't want to hear any more about it.
It's just fucking insane that every day there's a new fucking shooting,
right?
And it's like,
and then we, it's just dumb. We think that these fucking idiot politicians and lobbyists and pundits that they're gonna change it. It's not. It's a fundamental problem, and it starts. We've watched enough about this kid.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a fuck about him. Nobody was really paying attention to what was going on. He slipped through the cracks, and unfortunately, a lot of people lost their lives. And with that, enough said. Unless you have anything else to add.
Nope. I mean,
all right. Shall we move on to Mr. Newsom?
Sure.
Gavin Newsom. He looks like Matthew McConaughey's. Like he looks like his older brother that isn't welcome at Thanksgiving dinner anymore.
But let me say that between Biden and Gavin Newsom, I'll take Gavin Newsom any day.
Oh, yeah. At least he's coherent. He might be an idiot, but at least he's coherent.
Yeah.
But there's no way the Democrats are they got nothing. I mean, the only thing that they got to run on is the whole Roe v. Wade thing.
Yeah.
That's about it. And people are so stupid in this country that they don't even realize they lost their Miranda rights, and no one said a word about that.
Yeah.
It's always weird how you'll have something go through that just riles everybody up emotionally, right? Everybody gets all emotional about shit. But then in the background, they're doing other shit, and no one says nothing about it. Now, is a woman's right to her body more important than your Miranda rights? No, I would say, no, of course not. But with the abortion thing, they didn't take it away. They didn't ban it.
Yeah.
They just said, listen, this is not within the scope of the federal government. This is something that belongs to the states.
Yeah. So there are some states like California, Oregon, Washington who are like, hey, come here if you want to have an abortion.
They'll abort Gavin Newsom as a late-term abortion. Hey, Gavin, sorry, it's a late-term abortion. I mean, I heard that about, there were people literally talking about abortions after birth of a child. I was like, What?
No,
These are the same idiots that were saying that they should, the same feminists that say that that all men should be killed. And I'm like, do you understand how this works? Do you understand? Like, if there's no more men, there's no more women. Like, sorry, I mean, that's, what are you gonna do? Just, are you gonna have us all go jerk off in a cup and have the biggest giant fucking sperm box on the planet and then just kill us all?
No.
Is that the plan? And I mean, why do they always got it? I mean, they always, that's the crazy thing too. It's like, I've asked, and I'm not trying to be rude here, but I mean, the lesbians, they play around with the old, the dildo.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's still the phallic thing that they're, so it's like, well, I don't know what's going on there. It's not my business.
No.
I don't need to be in anybody else's bedroom, and I don't care what goes on there.
Yeah.
Just keep it there. Like I saw earlier today, they got this little dog boy that works in the administration, and he had a website where they were selling, I can't remember what it was called, like Rent Boy, and they had underage men that were basically prostituting themselves out, and a guy that's in the administration that works for the government, this dude, he's weird. He's into that furry shit.
Yeah,
he's a weird looking little. I mean. And they were all crying and whining that their website got shut down. And it's like, y'all motherfuckers should be arrested. Yeah. You're like involved in child trafficking.
Yeah.
Like, that's child trafficking. I mean, who cares if the kid is like voluntarily doing it? It's still a minor child that is prostituting themselves out to older men. It's like NAMBLA. Did you ever see the South Park about NAMBLA?
No.
Oh my God, that was some funny shit. Cartman decides he's way more mature than his friends.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to get online and find some of your friends. And so he gets on there and he starts typing.
No, I think I did see that one. Yeah, it's old, right?
It's old, yeah. But he gets on there and he starts typing, and he's like, 8-year-old boy looking for mature friends. and he hits enter on the thing, and all of a sudden on the chat room, it just starts bing, 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 bing. He's like, oh, wow, look at this. And so, so he starts hanging out with NAMBLA, the North American Man Boy Love Association. That's a real thing.
I've seen
that's
that
a real thing, dude.
Yeah.
I was locked up with this guy that was in that shit, man. This dude, he come into the fucking prison, man, and I'm looking at this motherfucker. I'm like, dude, this guy is straight cho.
Yeah.
And he tried to come in the TV room, man, and I picked him up in his chair and just took him right out in the hallway. And I was like, you are not coming back in here. You're out. Dude, it's like, I mean, you could see right there. And so I went and asked, there was a CEO there that was, would let me know what's up. And I was like, and she's like, dude, she's like NAMBLA. And I'm like, wait, like South Park NAMBLA? And she's like, it's a real thing. And I'm like, I'm like, wait, what? It's a female CEO. She's like, yeah. She's like, NAMBLA. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here, And she was telling me, I was like, Jesus Christ.
It's like, oh my God.
So it was real, like when I saw the episode, I thought it was just.
Yeah, they made it up. It's
right?
Like, yeah.
Who would come up with NAMBLA? I mean, and then to find out that here I am, and there's this guy in my unit that's part of that shit, And
so it's the North
American Man Boy Love Association. It's a real fucking thing, man. I'll look it up on here too.
Oh my God, no.
But we were started on Newsom, so let's go. Let's go. We're gonna play a little clip here from Newsom and what he's doing now. A little pretext here. I'm sure everybody knows, but Newsom took out some advertising down in Florida, right? And as we know, Newsom's the governor of California, the great state of California. California. He's an idiot. He looks like Matthew McConaughey's older brother that's not welcome at Thanksgiving anymore. That type of guy. Like, oh no, not you're not welcome at Thanksgiving, man. You're gonna make mom upset. You're gonna get drunk and stupid. Just no. And McConaughey is his little brother. Like, hey man, keep it cool, man. Just mellow. So Newsom takes out advertisement in Florida, and he's trying to talk people.
DeSantis,
he's trying to talk people in Florida. He's trying to talk them into moving back to California. And I guess this year there's been 60,000 people from California that have gotten driver's licenses in Florida. And there's been a mass exodus out of California. You've got people shitting on the streets. You've got poop patrol in San Francisco. You've got homelessness is out of control.
Oh, absolutely. Let me say that.
And this guy thinks that.
Like in the beaches in LA, it was like crazy how many homeless people are there. It's like,
on Venice Beach there.
Yeah, it's like insane.
when you told me you went there, I was just like, oh.
Yeah. No, we were only there for like an hour, and they were like, all right, yeah, let's just
go. That place used to be goofy.
Yeah.
Like, it used to be goofy, like goofy people and weird kind of zany shit going on, but now it's dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, it is. It's borderline, just like, whew. All right, anyway, we'll play this clip here from old Matthew McConaughey's older brother that's not welcome at Thanksgiving anymore. That's what we're going to start referring to this guy as. All right, we'll get a little volume, and we'll listen to his little commercial here to get everybody to go.
California Governor Gavin Newsom waging, and I mean
Let me take the logo off.
War
There.
on red states. The left-wing
Total
leader
war.
trying to make the case that what America really needs right now is more of his state's failed progressive policies. Newsom has been bashing Republican-led states for weeks and is even running ads in Florida encouraging people to move to California.
Freedom, it's under attack in your state.
Oh, is it?
Leaders, they're banning books.
You don't have the freedom to be homeless.
To vote, restricting speech in classrooms, even criminalizing women and doctors. I urge all of you living
That was a
in Florida
woman?
to join the fight or join us in California, where we still believe in freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom to choose,
Freedom to burn down buildings
freedom
and
to love.
be home.
Don't let them take your freedom.
Okay.
Newsom appears to have
Now-
an eye on 2024, and this new poll
What a goofball. This fucking goofball.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you even, he should be embarrassed. I mean, he should be absolutely, and they're saying he's a stronger candidate than Kamala Harris.
Well, yeah.
How bad is the Democrat Party when that's your choice? Folks, ooh. I mean, I'm not saying vote Republican either. I'm saying vote. They're both, all of them are screwed up, but
Yeah.
I mean, you got to look at honestly, like, I mean, we need to start looking at things fiscally.
Yeah.
I mean, and I honestly think that's a reason for a lot of people going fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
Because you trace it back to, I mean, this thing started in, I think it was March 13th of 2020 was when the kids here went home from school.
Yeah.
And I think it happened before that in a lot of other places, but
It was like March 18th.
it was March 13th.
13th.
Oh yeah, I remember the date. and I mean, so you had kids out of school for almost 2 years. And in some places, they're still making kids wear masks in New York City. I mean, this is not even a thing anymore. I mean, even the monkeypox. They tried with the monkeypox, and I mean, you haven't heard a thing about that.
Yeah, no.
Nothing about the monkeypox. They just come up with a different catastrophe every other day. That it's like, what the fuck, And it's weird that these. Speaking of the catastrophes, I'm not trying to get back off on this again, but it seems like all these young people, these young men, because I've yet to see a young woman do a mass shooting. It seems like they're all known to law enforcement. They're all probably on an FBI watch list, and somehow they're still getting their hands on firearms. And
that should be more protected.
Right.
I don't know. It's like.
But I mean, if a dude's set on killing people too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you run, I mean, you could run down the damn street with a machete in the middle of a parade and kill 6 people very quickly.
Yeah.
Just as easily as you can with a gun. The fact of the matter is that kid was a coward. He was a coward, and that was by disassociating himself, the distance between him and his little hidey hole, and not actually doing the deed. I mean, they're cowards.
Yeah.
Anybody that does something like that's cowards. Anyway, I didn't mean to get back off on that. We'll talk about old Newsom. So, yeah, it's funny. The Democrats are talking about bringing this guy on board. I mean, they just tried to recall him in California.
Yeah.
Larry Elder was running against him, and they called Larry Elder a white supremacist. That's how screwy California is, folks. They call a black man a white supremacist. Wait,
What the heck? Oh, my God.
huh? Okay. Somehow he managed to hang on, and they're getting rid of that Gascon, the district attorney or whatever down in L.A. that's just been turning. He just lets people go.
Yeah.
No bail, no nothing. It's like what they did with that Darrell Brooks that ran all those people over in Wisconsin right after the Rittenhouse thing. I mean, the dude had. He'd been charged with, he took a 15-year-old girl out to Las Vegas, pimped her out, knocked her up, got charged with, all kinds of child like chomo sex charges and shit.
Well, of course. I mean,
ran his baby's mom. I don't know if it's the same woman. It might have been, but they were 2 days prior to him running all those people down. He runs her over at a gas station, and he gets thrown in jail, and he gets out on $1,000 bail.
What?
I mean, and then he goes and mows all those people down, and it's like that's the problem here. You've got these idiots, these mushheads. It's like, I mean, you got to look at what the crime is. If you're talking about somebody, you catch a guy with some bags of weed. I mean, no bail. It's fine. You're a nonviolent. You're not. I mean, I mean, weed's legal in like 28 states now, or even more than that. I mean, we happen to live in one of the backwards ass states that'll be the last to legalize, which I don't understand. It's a plant. It shouldn't even be. It shouldn't even be a call of legal or not legal. It's a plant. Yeah. The state shouldn't be making tax revenue off of it, and everybody should be able to grow the shit if they want to grow it. Yeah. Don't give it to the little kid. Be responsible about it. But I mean, it's like in Europe, right? And even where you grew up.
Yeah, Mexico.
Like you had wine with dinner all the time as a same with people I know from Europe. I mean, there was not a stigma placed upon alcohol, and so you've got a lower rate of alcoholism or binge drinking because kids grow up understanding they see from mom and dad. They're like, okay, in moderation, might be okay to get a little buzz on once in a while, but you don't get all corned up and stupid and glug glug vroom vroom all over the place. And,
let me say, when I was like 15, one day I was like, hey, is it okay if I drink another beer? And my parents were like, it's okay. Yeah. And I drank another one, and they're like, how are you feeling? I was like, I don't know, maybe a little bit buzzed. And they're like, why don't you have another one? Yeah. And I had it.
Yeah, I mean.
And they were like, it's just so you experience what it feels like, and
Yeah. And you're at home, you're in a safe place. What's the worst that's going to happen? I mean, you're going to sit down and fall asleep, or I mean, you're not going to puke off 2 beers. But then you look at America. Yeah. And I know I was a freshman in college, man. And you were telling me when you went to college, your dad bought you a bunch of beers.
Yeah. Because it was normal. It's like, all right.
But when I went to college, I mean, I remember the first night in the dorms, man. I was like, all right, who's got an ID? Where? And I mean, it was we just, drank and drank and drank. And I mean, you'd sit there and shotgun. We came up with more ways to get drunk and stupid. And then that starts going, man. And it's bad, So, I mean, I don't know.
No, but
it's just like with weed. I mean, I would much rather have a young person smoking weed than drinking. I mean, the drinking's gonna get. I mean, especially as a young man too. You got the testosterone roaring, and
you got girls and
you get drunk and you just do dumb shit. Yeah. Every time I never got in trouble for smoking weed. I mean, I get caught with weed. I got a couple of tickets, but I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't like, but then I mean, if I'd get corned up, man, I mean, here we go. Fucking Friday night fights, I mean, somebody does something to piss you off, and next thing you know, you're just volatile and angry and doing dumb shit and just acting like a fool. I mean, spent a lot of years doing that. Glad those days are done. Good Lord. Stupid.
Let me second that. It's like, oh my God.
I mean, there's some fun times, a lot of fun times.
No, but let me say, now I drink, and then after I have 2 or 3 drinks, I'm like, you know what? That's enough. And
I mean, I still do too, but it's like I don't get drunk.
Yeah, no, it's like,
I don't get out of control, and never. I mean, there's never a time I don't even think I'd even come close to blowing over the limit. I mean,
oh no.
And but back in the day, no. I mean, I should tell a story about the first driver's license I got when I moved back here. I don't know if I should. It might incriminate me. I don't know. I guess I really can't do anything about it now. No. It was a long time. Well, anyway, I'd moved back from one place to here, and my boss found out I didn't have a driver's license. And I was driving the company truck everywhere because he was a drunk and he could never drive. And so he never even asked me for a license. So he'd throw the keys at me and be like, he'd ride shot, or he'd ride, he'd sit over there and drink until he'd pass out for a while or whatever. This is a guy one day we're driving the Casper for a job, and I've got my CD case. This is back in the CD case day, right? This is before digital music, like CDs. So he's drinking and half passed out, and I'm listening to my music, and he ejects one of my CDs, and he grabs one of his CDs, and he puts in Meatloaf, and we're like between Shoshone and Casper, and I'm just like looking at him like, you son of a bitch. I just hit eject. Had rolled down his window and just frisbeed that thing right out the window as we're going down the highway, and he was just like, "What the hell did you do?" I said, "No, man, I ain't listening to fucking Meatloaf." And Meatloaf, rest in peace, man. I'm sorry. I know you just. I mean, not my thing. You know, that I would do anything for
that
love.
Song is okay one time, and that's it. That's like.
But what is it that he wouldn't do?
Yeah.
Well, I always ask that. Well, he would do anything for love, but he won't do that.
Yeah.
What is it that he wouldn't do? I mean, what are we talking here? What what was his what was the person he was in love with trying to do to him? I won't do that. I mean, were we talking like some cucumber action? Some hot dogs? What's going on here? I mean, the big purple vein throbber dildo. What's going on? I mean, what wouldn't he do?
I have no idea.
And then it would get into that whole chorus. I would do that. I wouldn't do that. And you're like, what wouldn't he do? I wonder if we Googled, like, what wouldn't Meatloaf do for love? Like, what wouldn't he do? I never figured it out. No. And he died before I could ask him.
Yeah.
He was great in Fight Club. His name was Robert Paulson. Wasn't that his name?
Yeah. Oh
my God. Would be anybody listening to this, please, can you let me fill us in? What is it? This is these are important questions. This has plagued me my whole life. What the fuck would Meatloaf do?
I have no idea. It's like,
I mean,
but it's like the whole song about what he won't do.
I won't do anything, but I won't do that. Okay, what? What won't you do? What won't you do, Meatloaf? What wouldn't you do? The secret you took to the grave. What wouldn't Meatloaf do? I mean, now I'm starting to think about that South Park. He would kick an ass at you. Yes, that's what Barbara Rotano would do. But what would Meatloaf not do? These are serious questions that need answered, folks. If you have any inclination to help us out here, I've wanted to know this for a long time, and this is the first time I've thought about it in a while. Yeah. What the fuck wouldn't Meatloaf do? Please. Just inquiring minds want to know. They need to know. And I think there's a lot of people that are in the same boat. I don't think you people out there know what Meatloaf wouldn't do.
No one knows. It's like,
it had to have been bad. I mean, was it a gerbil? It had to have been butt play of some sort, I would imagine. I mean, what was it that he wouldn't do? What wouldn't Meatloaf do? For fuck's sake, somebody tell me. God damn it! I'm gonna have to look this up now.
Oh my God!
I mean, why not? We're on the subject, and we've got a world of knowledge right here at our fingertips. So we can keep going on this, but let's just Google this and see what the hell wouldn't Meatloaf do. I mean, somebody's got to have somebody has to have some insight in this. What wouldn't Meatloaf do for love? Make sure I'm typing Meatloaf do for love. Let's just find out here. What would Meatloaf do? Come on, you guys want to know, right? Tell me you haven't asked yourself that question. Okay, some days it don't come easy. Some days it don't.
Those are the lyrics.
Yeah, we're dropping frames
What
too.
is the only thing that Meatloaf won't do for love?
But I won't do that. What are you looking at?
People also ask, like the first one.
Oh, yeah. What is the only thing you won't do? Okay. Lie to you, forget the way you feel right now, forgive myself if we don't go all the way tonight, do it better than I do it with you. Who said that? What exactly is it that a singer would not do? This is from the BBC. Okay, so what wouldn't he do? Here, I'll pull this up so you guys can see this here. Oh, no. News you can trust. No, you can't. No, I'm just wanting to see what Meatloaf wouldn't do. I'm not trusting. Look at that guy.
Oh no!
Come back there.
Yeah, there we go.
He's a little pinned, huh? Where did the name Meatloaf? Okay, let's see. Over 12 minutes of Wagnerian melodramatic. I guess that's Wagnerian. He repeated that. He repeated that guarantee no less than 30 times. Fans have long been confused about what it was he wouldn't do. Go vegan, bribe a priest, give a gun to a monkey. What wouldn't he do? I mean...
Hold on. Just go back up.
In character as the Spice Girls driver, the star is asked to clean out the permanently clogged toilets of their tour bus.
What the fuck?
Listen, I love these girls and I'll do anything for them, but I won't do that. I mean, I don't think anybody ever knew.
No.
He died at 74, huh?
Yeah.
His name was Robert Paulston. I don't know. I mean, every time he sings, I won't do that, it's to reject the possibility of a specific future transgression. Jim Steinman wrote the song, though fans might be stumped by the refrain, which he had actually recycled from the Bonnie Tyler song, Getting So Excited. When we were recording it, Jim brings up the thing, he says, people aren't going to know what that is, Meatloaf recalled in 2014. I said, of course they are. How can they not know? He goes, they're not gonna. What happens is, I get this question all the time, Meatloaf told VH1 Storytellers in 98. I bet if I said, do you have a question? People would raise their hand and would ask me, what is that? I'm here tonight to help you out, he says. And then he, wheeling out a giant blackboard of the lyrics and illustrating the syntax with a pointy stick. There are different lines every time before every chorus. I'll never forgive myself if we don't go all the way tonight. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. I'll never stop dreaming of you every night of my life. I'll do anything for love, but I'll never forget the way you feel right now. I will do anything, but I won't do what? The audience replied, that. And then he says, do we understand it? Asked Professor Loaf. It's the line before every chorus. In other words, you can insert your own line.
There you go.
And then lie to you, forget the way. I mean, stop dreaming. What? I mean, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. This is out of control. This is out of hand. This is out of pocket. This is bullshit. God. Yeah, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
We wasted too much time on that. I mean, we didn't waste time on it. At least we know now that it means nothing.
Yeah.
And we don't have to be concerned about what Meatloaf would or wouldn't do. I've always wanted to know.
Yeah.
What would he do? What wouldn't he do? Why wouldn't he do? I mean,
he won't do that.
It just says insert whatever you think you wouldn't do.
Oh my God.
What wouldn't you do for love? No butt stuff. No gerbils. Gearbles. No gearbles. I mean, what the fuck?
Oh my God. We spent too much time on Meatloaf.
There's a lot of songs like that out there, though. That if you think about it, you know, there's a lot of songs that have kind of weird, ambiguous lyrics that you're like, what the fuck does that mean? What is this person talking about? They just don't make any sense. Like he said, the Spice Girls. That's stupid. If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. God. Is that what? Is that like? Okay. I mean, I was like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, I've never met. I've never met any chicks like that.
I thought that meant like you gotta get along with my friends, but it's like.
Who's gonna get along with the Spice Girls, though? I mean, come on, you're not. I mean, you're hooking up with one of the Spice Girls, man. You ain't trying to hang out with a. Can you imagine that noise?
Oh my God, no!
Good God, I can only imagine the annoyance of that. I mean, I remember hanging out with chicks like that back in the. You know, you're just trying to like, you know, you're a young dude. You know what you're going in for, and then you got the fucking whole menagerie of the friends, and they start getting drunk. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Like, and it's like, you're sitting there going, oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's like,
if she says like one more time, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know, Jesus Christ, that's one of them that drives me nuts. The repetitive, every other word is like.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like, oh my God! Like, look what she's wearing. Oh my goodness!
Oh my God!
That's what I would. Yeah, that's what I wouldn't do. Hang out with chicks like that.
Oh my God! Oh, fuck.
Fucking the goddamn nuclear missile! Fucking warning! The warning siren going off, and you.
Anyways, let's change the topic.
Get me the fuck out of here. Oh, it's kind of funny.
Oh my God!
We've all been there. It's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this is funny. The poll is Newsom is stronger than Kamala.
Well,
I mean, that's like it's the same thing. This is exactly what I talk about here with the politics. It's the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
You've got a turd covered in burnt hair, and a dirty diaper full of Indian food.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like, what's worse? I mean, what are you going to do? Life's a shit sandwich. How big of a bite do you want to take? Do you want to take the shit sandwich with Kamala, or you want to take the shit sandwich with Newsom? I mean, and neither one of them would stand a chance. I mean, Kamala got up there. I couldn't even watch whatever it was she did this weekend. She apparently went to Illinois, and she had some tirade where she repeated herself.
Of course, yeah.
Like the significance of the passage of time.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The interesting thing about the significance of the passage of time is that in the significance of the passage of time, we realize that there is a significance of the passage of time in the significance of the passage of time. It's like, are you going to shut the fuck up or what? You know, you're the vice president. You're the second in charge, and this is what you got to say? She did the same thing. I heard some of it. I had to turn it off. I mean, I'd rather listen to Meatloaf.
Yeah.
I would rather sit here and contemplate what Meatloaf wouldn't do than listen to Kamala Harris say one more word ever. If I don't ever have to listen to her say another word, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'd listen to Gavin. Yeah, and they're right. I would listen to Gavin Newsom before her. At least he seems like entertaining mildly, and he seems like he'd be a fun guy to go out and have some cocktails with. Fuck with him a little bit, you know. Maybe fucking de-pants him and push him out in the street. I don't know, you know. Tape him up to a light post.
No, Kamala and Biden are like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Why?
You want to put them in a storage container and fucking put them on a ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, here you go. Welcome to Malaysia. Sorry, Malaysian folks. Send them to Sri Lanka. We know you got enough problems over there as it is, but here you go. Now you got these two.
A couple more.
Yeah, now you got these two. I don't know. I think the Republicans can probably put up. I mean, you could use like the evil monkey off Family Guy and run him.
Yeah.
You could run a cartoon character and it'd probably be better. Because these fucking Democrats are like Muppets, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just silly. And then you've got, what's her face, old vacuum cleaner bag.
Oh, Nancy.
Hillary. She's getting her, you know, she's weaseling her way back in the mix.
Why? It's like,
because she still has to break that glass ceiling and become the first woman president.
No, it's like, get the fuck out.
No, it would be funny as shit though to see her run against Trump again and watch Trump just mop the fucking floor up with her.
Yeah.
I mean, she's gonna glitch out too. I mean, she was glitching out last time. Biden's glitching out. He's talking about running again. That'll put him. I mean, that's gonna put him in at what? I mean, if he does 2 terms, 86, 88. No.
He's gonna be 86. Yeah.
Yeah. No way.
It's like no.
He's got poopy butt already. I mean, he doesn't even know where he is. His wife has to keep coming up and grabbing the microphone from him like she did this weekend. He didn't say anything on D-Day about D-Day and until like 9:30 at night. I watched this old World War II vet. He was in tears about what's happened with his country, and that one hit me because my grandfather fought in World War II. I mean, he lied at 17 years old to get into the Navy. You know, that's how. I mean, you know, that was like a different. I mean, that was a different time.
Yeah.
It was a different thing. I mean, you had literal Nazis killing people and then you had it on both fronts, you know. I mean, you had
Japanese.
You had that Pacific. Yeah. I mean, that was you know. I mean, he watched some of his good friends out on. You know, he was on the Randolph. He was on an aircraft carrier in the Pacific. He watched friends get blown up, and I mean, went through a lot. And I mean, and seeing that old guy, I mean, he's got to be one of the last.
Yeah.
I mean, my grandfather passed in 2012, and I think he was 82.
I think that the last guy just barely passed away yesterday. Who was in?
There was a guy that they interviewed this weekend that.
Yeah,
he
passed away.
Okay, because there was another guy that was like 107.
No,
that lived down in Texas, and
after he passed away, they're like, "That's it, that's the last one." So,
well, they had a reunion for those guys, and that was while I was locked up. But my grandfather flew out to D.C. and my brother has pictures hanging out with him, and when I went out there, we went to the World War II memorial, and it was kind of an emotional thing, you know.
Yeah,
I mean. It's not like these bullshit things that are going on right now. I mean, we're just fighting wars by proxy, and it's all been. I mean, everything since Vietnam has been bullshit.
But you know, it's like me as a Mexican, not really understanding it. When I was in Washington D.C. and I saw a World War II memorial, I I felt for the people who fought there. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, and you watch. I mean, there was a lot of young men that died, man. And I mean, they were
Yeah.
pulling up on those boats. I mean, and they're just dumping these guys out, and they're
Yeah.
just getting mowed down. You know,
but
I
yeah,
mean, and being in the trenches and shit. I mean, I can't even imagine.
and
I mean,
but I mean, it's just like I felt for the people who died there, and it's like, you know, I wasn't American at the time, but I was like, wow, these guys are heroes. These guys really
well, and if
deserve it.
yeah, and if the Allies hadn't prevailed, the world would be a different
Yeah.
place. It would be a different place for sure, man. I mean, if Hitler had,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it would be a whole different game. You know, I mean, those guys were here. They call them the greatest generation for a reason. You know, and then I mean, like Vietnam kicks off with the Gulf of Tonkin, which was just a total farce, and then
Yeah.
you know, and then I don't know what the hell we're involved with now. We got World War III on the brink. They've got 300,000 troops that
Yeah.
are on high alert now.
Yeah.
Who's footing the bill for that? Us. I mean, and dipshit gets up there and he's just like, "Well, we're just gonna, you're gonna have to sacrifice and just eat it." Well, why
I know,
don't you?
it's
Why don't
like-
you? Yeah, it's like,
exactly.
hey, Biden, why don't you kick down? You're gonna die here any day. Why don't you
Yeah.
kick down your shit, man? Why don't you get your Hunty over there and get all Hunty to kick down? You guys took 31 million from the Chinese. You made 15 million in the 2 years you came out of office. He never made that much in his career. It's like, why don't you kick down, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you gonna go ride your bike or not ride your bike? Go fall off your bike in Delaware. I mean, what a goofball.
Yeah.
These people are just goofballs, man. Absolute goofballs. I mean, they say that like 88% of the country think that everything's just going in a completely bad direction.
Yeah.
Who are the 12% that think everything's going good?
I have.
Do you know
no
anybody?
fucking
I've not
idea,
met
no.
anybody that thinks that everything is just fine. Oh, I'm so happy with what he's doing. Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah.
I mean, what's he
yeah,
doing? He
let's keep the
farts. He
prices-
does the long fart in front of the Duchess of Cornwall. He falls asleep. I mean, he just embarrasses everybody. I mean, we're an
Yeah.
embarrassment on the global platform right now.
It's like, let's keep the gas prices up. Let's.
And then he comes out and tells the gas station owners to drop the
Yeah.
price.
It's like, wait.
They
Do
make
you understand how it works?
yeah, they
It's
make like 5 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
So you tell me, as a station owner, you get your next shipment of gas and fuel, and the price goes up 20 cents a gallon, and you're
Yeah.
only making 5 cents a gallon. Now, what do you do?
Yeah.
Do you just leave the prices the same and eat it? Do you drop prices like
No.
Joe Biden says, so then you can really eat it? I mean, or do you raise the prices accordingly
Yeah.
so you can keep your margin, so you can keep paying the mortgage on your
yeah.
business for the
And
building,
you'll make 5 cents a gallon.
pay your
Yeah.
employees, pay yourself, pay your mortgage at home, pay your bills. I mean, you have to you're in business to make money. You can't
Yeah.
just give shit away. Onion Head, I mean, maybe he doesn't understand that. He obviously did something to get, maybe it was having Hunty. You know, maybe that's what you get when you spend 50 years in Congress and you don't do jack shit.
Yeah.
But then you have a last name and you can send your kid over to corrupt countries to work for oil companies when he knows nothing about it. And I mean,
Yeah.
have you seen the video of him he's talking to like a Russian escort? And he owes her money and she's like hitting him up for like, you know,
Oh my God.
he owes her like 10 grand, right? This dude's
Okay.
making 80 grand a month for Burisma. And he's sitting there cracked out in this room with this Russian prostitute. And she's like, hey, you know, I'm sure she's got a pimp that wants his money.
Yeah.
She's like, you know, and he's like, I'm sorry it took me so long to come up with $10,000. Have I, you know, and he's videotaping it. What's up with this guy? He's hit that laptop. He videoed everything. All these, I mean, is that what crack does to you? I mean, you're the son of the
No.
goddamn vice president of the United States, and you're going to videotape your nefarious
Yeah, no.
deeds with Russian prostitutes?
It's like, what? Why on earth?
I mean, he's sitting there talking to her like that, and he's like, you can't talk to me. He's like, I've never touched you without asking you, have I? I've never. I've been better to you than you know. And yet there he is over the 4th of July weekend. There he is. He's carrying around a little kid. He's wandering around with his dad, and everybody's like, oh, look at the Biden family. The guy's banging his dead brother's wife. I mean, he should be indicted right now. You know, they want to talk about gun laws. This dude lied on a fucking federal background check to get a gun. The gun ended up on top of a dumpster next to a grocery store and across the street from a high school where some kid could have grabbed it. I don't even think they'd ever found the gun. The Secret Service and the FBI are denying they had anything to do with it, but there's text messages out there from Hunter to Hallie, who was Beau Biden's widowed wife. She is the widowed wife, and his dead brother. And this guy has got the morals to. I mean, that's this guy's.
Yeah.
That's where this guy comes from ethically. It's okay. Well, my brother's dead. I'll just go, hook up with his widow. And then smoke crack and wander around naked with a loaded gun.
No, that's...
And get Russian hookers and prostitutes. And I mean, he knocked up one stripper. And I mean, and then there's a voice message that came out too, where old Joe leaves a voicemail with him. Hey, bud, I don't need to call back. I just haven't talked to you in a while. Hey, it looks like that article is going to come out on the internet and the Times. It's looking good. It looks like you're in the clear. I mean, everybody in the nation's heard that. I can play it right now. Everybody's heard it. I mean, this is not like it's made up. The Washington Post had to come back. This came off the laptop. So he had everything on there. Yeah. What a dipshit. Why would you put all that on that laptop? I mean, and then go and leave it, sense. And then go leave it at a computer store. Here's the, here's all the dirt on Biden. Maybe he did it on purpose. Maybe he was sick of giving. I have no idea. Maybe he was sick of giving Corn Pop his 10%. I mean, there was all those messages about you got to make sure you save 10% for the big guy. I mean, where do you think he made $15 million? It was from speaking engagements. Who's gonna pay that guy? Who wants to listen to that guy?
Yeah, no.
Even Obama said during his presidency, he said he was concerned whenever he would get up and be in front of the microphone because he didn't know what he was going to say.
Yeah.
Who's going to pay for a speech? I mean, it'd be like, having the Situation from Jersey Shore or something come and speak. We don't know what we're going to get. We guarantee he's going to pull up his shirt, though, and show you his abs. He might do some tax fraud.
No, let me say that Obama was a great speaker, but it's like...
Sure, yeah. When they had the anniversary celebration of Obamacare or whatever.
Yeah.
And he showed up, and Biden's standing over there saluting him, and Obama was just clowning on him. But it was like there was, even with Obama, who, didn't care for him.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I feel like he did that was any fucking good was, commuting a lot of dudes I knew, commuting their sentences. One in particular being my buddy Pook. And what's up, Pook? Anyway, I was supposed to have you on tonight. Didn't hear back. Anyway, we'll do it one of these other nights. Yeah. But I mean, just having Obama in that room, it was like, okay, now we have somebody who can who's in charge, right? It felt like a different thing. Yeah. And Biden's standing over there, he's like, and he's calling him Mr. President, and like, Obama's going around and talking to people, and Biden's like poking him on the shoulder, like, and he's like shrugging him off. Yeah, he's like, get the fuck away from me, old man. God damn, you smell like fucking Old Spice. Fucking beat it, Go sniff somebody. Get your nose out of my ears.
Oh my God.
I mean, and he's wandering around. And he's like, we watch that. He's just staggering around like, here's the president of the United States. And none of his staffers or anybody. I mean, he's got handlers. Like, somebody should have been like, hey, you need to go out there and engage with him and make it look like he's not just a staggering old wino. I mean,
nope.
And he looks around and he's shaking hands with people that aren't there. He gets done. He turns around and, there's no one. It's like, are you seeing ghosts? Are you seeing reflections? What's going on here? Do you have cataracts? What's happening?
Oh my God.
It's fine. It's just Joe. He's just a goofball, I mean, it's okay. It's like, that's the guy we want out there making the calls. I mean, I'd rather have Grandpa Simpson.
Well, thankfully he only has a couple more years, and then
I don't think he's got that long.
Yeah.
I don't wish ill upon anybody. I don't wish. I mean, even when he fell off the bike, I was glad he wasn't hurt. You'd hate to see something like that happen. Yeah. I mean, I don't wish any bad things on him, but I do wish he would just go back to his basement.
Yeah.
Or to his beach house and just, maybe get a tricycle this time. It's tougher to fall over on a trike.
Except that.
Get him a side-by-side or a
to
golf cart.
If he went back to his house, then he'd leave Kamala as a president. So it's like.
Well, that's.
No.
Oh my God. Yeah, there's not a good way to go here.
No.
And if there's no Kamala, then we got Skeletor. Miss the knuckle rubber. She'll be up there doing this shit.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine her in charge? She's up there. All right, my precious. Here we go. He's like a fucking gremlin that
my
you dump water on after midnight or whatever, you know.
Or wait, what's the name of the other senator from California? Feinstein.
Oh God. They're trying to get. Why do we have all these geriatric mushheads running the show?
I have no idea.
She's fucking out there. She's done. I mean,
Bernie Sanders is like.
He's up there directing the band, swatting bees. 1% to the 10% to the 14% to the
It's like just retire all these people.
Yes. Well, that's what I say. Anybody out there that has any kind of scruples, don't vote for an incumbent if you're going to vote. If you're going to vote, do not vote for an incumbent. Period. Don't vote for these old dish rags. I mean, good God. I mean, if you're going to do that, just bring Grandpa Simpson in.
Yeah.
At least he fought in a war.
No, tell you what. You got 2 terms as a senator, and then that's it. That's like...
Yeah, I'd say for House of Reps and just get rid of, I don't know, my thought on it is just get rid of the House of Representatives and you randomly select 2 people from every state. And there's your senators, and then you randomly select 1 kicker so you don't ever have a tie.
Yeah.
And you get rid of the presidency, the vice presidency, the speaker of the House. That's it. You have 101 people. So you can't ever have a tie.
Yeah.
And you compensate them for whatever they're doing. Like you're a business owner, whatever. You have a going rate for what you get paid. It's a civic duty then.
Yeah.
You go to D.C., you don't take vacations. You can have a certain amount of vacation anyway. Not this bullshit where they just leave and fucking gallivant around.
Crazy.
Yeah, we're not flying people like John Kerry around anymore all over in his private jet while he grandstands on climate change while he's flying around in a private jet. These hypocritical, and Joe Biden, he shouldn't be allowed on Air Force One ever again, until he puts gas in that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got enough money. I mean, and I don't know how he gets down to Delaware. I think they fly his ass down there, and it's either in the helicopter or they fly him down on Air Force One. We got flights leaving out of Delaware with, fucking weapons. We're sitting there, and these people are talking about gun control in this country, yet it's okay for us to just ship all these billions of dollars worth of fucking missiles and rockets and shit over to fucking Ukraine.
Yeah.
And they're not even making it to where are they even going? They're just selling them off. The Russians are stealing them. Kids are getting blown up. Oh, that's good policy there. We got to get democracy.
No.
There ain't no democracy. That Zelensky shut down the opposition party. There's no opposition party. If you support the opposition party in Ukraine, Zelensky's gonna who knows what. I mean, it's so ridiculous, and these people over here in this country are so dumb. They don't even understand. I mean, people are dumb here, just straight dumb.
Yeah.
They don't even understand what's going on. They can't see past their fucking nose. They want to sit there and sniff their own farts all day and eat soap. Oh I mean,
God.
Really.
You just can't. No.
I mean, you talk to people, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
You try and bring anything up with people. I mean, it's like, they look at you with a blank stare. They don't know what and then they took our derbs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing they know is all the Mexican folks are coming to take their jobs. No. And it's like, if you're losing your job to a migrant that doesn't speak the language and just fucking had to wade across a river to come into a country that he's never been to, and you're losing your job to that individual, you deserve to lose your job.
Yeah.
You should be fired. You should have been fired a long time ago.
It's like, why are there so many fucking open jobs in Cody? It's like...
Right. Well, because the cost of living is so high, and they've made the incentive of not working.
Yeah.
It's more appealing than going to work. I mean, a lot of the people that have gone through the whole process of getting the benefits and this and that and the welfare and what have you, it's easier to do that than go to work.
Yeah.
And go work a shitty cheese job. I mean, the cost of a rental anymore.
Oh, it's...
I mean, I couldn't understand it back in the day how people were able to work in the service industry in this town and stay afloat because, now it's just ridiculous.
No.
Even with the wages, I mean, they're like, oh, wages are up. Well, yeah, but when inflation is,
it's like the wages have to come up. It's like,
well, and they say 8.6%, but they're not. I mean, if they were counting it the way they counted it back in the 70s when it, the last time 40 years ago when it got bad, we'd be at like 16, 17%.
Yeah.
Not 8.6. And then dipshit gets up there and says, we're a place of strength. We're better off than anybody else in the world to fight this thing. And it's like, dude, shut the fuck. You're asking gas station. You're asking fucking small business owners that own a gas station
to cut down.
To fucking cut out. I mean, they don't even have any profit in it, barely anyhow.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole idea is just to get people to come in and buy Twinkies and Ho-Hos and cigarettes and Red Bulls and shit that they mark up to $4 a can for rat piss. I mean, that's it. It's not like owning a gas station is not. I can't imagine that's a great. I mean, it can't. It's got to be a lot of stress.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine like owning that one out there on the West Strip by the Walmart?
No.
I mean, you've got a lot of employees. So you've got leakage going on. People are stealing from you. You know, they're taking out of the tills. Who knows what employees, you don't know what they're going to do.
Plus, you're only making 5 cents a gallon, so it's
right. And you've got people just trying to get their 40 hours. They're making what, $12 an hour, maybe?
Yeah. No, it's
15.
Like 15, yeah.
I mean, Jackson is making 12 now, and he's 14. But when I worked my first job at 14, I made $4.35 an hour.
Yeah.
$4.35. He comes in and he's like, I got a raise today, Dad. I was like, well, right on. I said, what?
No, after my brain injury and I came back and worked at McDonald's, I was making $7.50 an hour. And I was like,
that's crazy.
That's great. It's like, no, $8.50 an hour. Sorry. But I was like, I'm making $8.50 an hour. It's like, it's better than nothing. So it's like,
yeah. And then you get your paycheck and you see the governor gets his cut. I mean, that's what's crazy too. And I explained that to him. We're going into the bank tomorrow to set him up with his first checks. I said, now look at that thing. And I said, look at the numbers. I said, there's your hours. There's what you should have been paid. Now look what you just lost out of that check without even. I said, you didn't consent to that. You didn't say that was okay. I said, no, that's theft. I said, now you understand why I say taxation is theft. Yeah. If taxation was such a good thing, then we'd be volunteering to give our money. Yeah. Right. But I mean, look what they do with our money. We end up with fucking spuds like these people, and they're all rich, and we're all sitting here just toiling in the dirt. You know, fucking we're like those idiots on Monty Python beating the mud with a stick. You know, dragging a cart along. Bring out your dead. Yeah. Oh. I mean, so we might as well be like that, right? I mean, that's what they're trying to do to everybody. They want this upper crust class, and and then you got these talking heads that. I guess we're talking heads too, but we're not making that kind of. We're not making anything. We're just having laughs and fucking. It's sounding off. Yeah. Making fun of Meatloaf. Just a couple of gravy heads. I wouldn't do that though. I would do anything for love, but it's just a fucking. It's a total contradiction too. Oh my god. I would do anything. Okay. Oh no, but not that. Exactly. Okay, so you wouldn't do anything. You would. There's a limitation here, Meatloaf.
But you won't do that.
Yeah, I still want to know. Because that was really a vague answer. Use the first line and then insert here. It's like no. Fuck you, Meatloaf. I'll throw your CD out the window again.
Why?
The best thing he did was Fight Club, man. I don't know. What a weird. I don't know. I don't know the guy. I don't know anything. He was a very flamboyant.
But that is a great movie.
Fight Club?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that was awesome. That was I would watch that movie anytime.
Brad Pitt.
I read a lot of Chuck Palahniuk's books while I was locked up. He's got books that are better than that one. Yeah. But I mean, that dude. Like I've seen some interviews with him, and he talks about when he started writing and going to like different workshops. He's from Portland, and he would go in and to these workshops with his manuscripts and shit and read them. And people, he said they would just be like, "Don't come back," because his stuff is. There's one book called Rant. Rant is. I'd like to read that again. Rant is a good one. Lullaby is a good one. He's got a ton of great books out there.
Okay.
Better than Fight Club, I think. But yeah, that was a great movie, though. That one actually translated into a movie. I know they've tried to make movies out of a couple of his other books, but they just sometimes it just doesn't transfer onto the screen.
It's just hard because it's like
it's so. I mean, he's like the Rant is you know, you're talking time travel. And
Yeah.
I mean, a person
Yeah.
I don't even understand it. It's one of those where you read it again and you go, oh, geez.
Yeah, and it's like, wait, how did I miss that on the first
Yeah.
time? It's like,
It's like watching Donnie Darko.
yeah.
Have you-
Oh yeah, I love that movie. It's like,
Dude, that scene when he goes into that school and it's playing that, I think it's a Cure song.
yeah,
And was it somebody had like, what they do? They like cut the mascot in half or something, and or cut the head off.
yeah,
And he walks in, and you got Patrick Swayze. He's the child molesting like motivational speaker, and then that lady that's got the dance troupe or whatever, and all the little girls are doing their little dance, and you got that. That's a really cool scene.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a great movie scene.
yeah,
I think he wakes up and he's like in the sand trap on the golf course, and
yeah.
and then you watch it and it gets done, and you're like, what the.
Yeah, it's like, what did I just watch? And then you're like, wait, I want to watch it again, and you watch
And
it
you
again.
get something else out of
yeah,
it.
exactly. It's like
You
wait,
never get the
Yeah.
never walk away with the same.
experience twice.
Yeah,
It's like,
you watch it again, you go, wait, I
yeah,
okay, now I see, and then you watch it again, and you go, oh, wait.
yeah,
I mean, it's got a cult following. You know, there's all kinds of chat rooms and shit where people
Yeah.
just everybody. I mean, I've read through a lot of the ideas and stuff, but you know, the old lady, what was her name, Roberta Brown or something like that, was the old lady that like came up with the time travel thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the scene where the jet engine just falls out of the sky.
yeah,
I mean, just a wild movie. And that same,
but it's a wild movie that is well done. It's
for
like,
sure.
Yeah,
and then David Kelly wrote Southland Tales. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I haven't.
It's with The Rock. It's out there. It's the same way though. You watch it and you don't really. There's one scene in there with Justin Timberlake's in it too, and he's like,
Okay.
So they're on the beach in California, right? It's like probably Venice Beach. I don't know where it's supposed to be. It's Santa Monica, I guess. And he's come back from war. And so they've got these guys in these turrets up on the buildings with machine guns.
Yeah.
And he's all fucked up from war. And he's doing this weird drug. It's like a blue vial he's shooting up with. And there's
Yeah.
one scene where he like goes into this arcade and he just shoots up and he starts tripping and he's going through and and they start playing that song by the Killers. You know, I got sober, not a soldier. And he's drinking this Bud Tall can and he's just tripping. And all he's seeing is like these, you know, pinup girls are all dancing around
Yeah.
him and like hugging him and stuff. And he's just walking through it. He's all just like spilling beer and shit, you know. I don't know what the drug was, but it was weird. That was a weird movie. I've never got that one. I mean, that one's the same way.
Yeah.
But The Rock's in it. His name is Boxer Santeros. He's married to this porn star. And yeah, it's a crazy movie.
Yeah.
I've got it somewhere. I think I've got it on my Amazon. It's a goofy one though, but I mean, you can watch that thing over and over, and you're just like,
Yeah.
You get done, and you're like, what the fuck? But it's entertaining.
Yeah.
But you get done, and it's just like a complete skull fuck. You're just like, what the hell did he just do
Yeah.
to me? What in the world just went on?
No, I agree. It's like Donnie Darko. It's like,
Yeah.
what
And then they
the
fucked up and made Donnie Darko too.
No, yeah, no. That's like,
Why do
bullshit.
that?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, all that says is money right there.
Yeah.
It's just like, don't do that.
No, I watched it one time and I was like,
Yeah, I did too,
why-
and I was
Why
pissed.
the fuck?
Yeah, I'd never again. I think I even bought it and I threw it away. I think I threw it away.
No, I didn't buy it, but I was like, why the fuck did they waste any time doing this? It's
Yeah.
like,
No, I know, man. That was it'd be like if they came out and did like a Pulp Fiction 2 or something.
no. Yeah.
You know, I mean, sometimes you just got to leave the original
Yeah.
where it's at.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks about Hollywood too. Now anymore, everything they do is just a remake. You know, it's either a remake or part 6 or 7 or what. You know, it's like I'm trying to think of any movie out there where the sequel was equal to or better than the first one. Now there's a couple of them.
Fast and Furious, maybe.
Perhaps the Back to the Future trilogy was good. All 3 of them, I thought.
Yeah.
Number 2 was a little shaky, but that's one if it comes on and I got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Especially
You'll
if it's like
watch
a
it,
cold
yeah.
ass winter day, the wind's blowing like crazy. I mean, that comes on and it's all 3 in a row. I'm posting up, man.
Yeah.
If I got nothing to do, I'm posting up, and I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not moving. That hasn't happened in a long time, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of any. Maybe the Supermans.
No.
Nothing beats the first one.
Is Superman 1, and then it's like,
yeah, you're right. And then they even went. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago we were up in Big Sky snowboarding, and it was a nasty day, so we went down to the village and we went to a movie and we saw like Superman versus Batman. What a waste! The only reason it wasn't a waste of time was because they sold beer at the theater.
Yeah,
that was it. Other than that, it was just like you had Ben Affleck, I think, played Batman. It's like
Lord of the Rings. That's worth it. I think it's like
except God, those things were long.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I fell asleep. I fell asleep at every one of them.
If you got the time, it's like worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, my precious. Schmeagol.
Oh, my God.
That's what my old boss looked like, man. He looked like Schmeagol in the mornings. That's why I quit one day, man. I woke up and rolled. We were staying in the same hotel, right? Staying at Super 8 in Casper, Wyoming, where you could smoke in the rooms. I had quit smoking. I was sober at the time. I wasn't drinking. And I was just not really having a fun time in life, and plus I was on the road with him, and the dude would sit in the truck and just drink all day.
Oh my God!
And we're working this job, and I got to do the anti-graffiti shit. That's just a clear coat that goes on the masonry around this huge fucking middle school. Well, they're doing what do they call it? Orientation. So they've just opened this school. It's the first class that's coming in. And I've got the pump in the back of the truck. He's like drunk and sleeping in the passenger side. I've got a big long wand on it, so I'm driving the truck around. I've got all the material. It's just this clear shit that we're spraying, and I've got this big long spray. And so I get around to the front, and there's people everywhere, and we got to get this thing done.
Yeah.
And so I got no help from him, and so we're going around these doors. I'm having to hold cardboard up to shield it. There's people coming and going under my ladder.
And it's like,
and I'm like, fucking shit, And so finally I hear this little kid go, Mommy, look at that man. And I'm like, oh shit. And I look over and they had the little pull in for the buses.
Yeah.
That's where I had the truck parked because I'm trying to just finish up the front of the school and get the fuck out of there. And I look over and he's got the door open. He's leaning out and he's just puking all over this. I mean, brand new school. He's puking all over. I'm like, oh Jesus fucking Christ. And so I get everything loaded up. I didn't even wash the pump out on site. I took it back to the hotel and went and got buckets of water out of the bathtub and cleaned it up in the back of the truck in the parking lot.
You were like, I'm done.
And he's like, I want to go out to eat. We go out to some place and he falls off the bar stool 3 times. Then get thrown out of there. We go back and he falls asleep with a cigarette. I'm just laying there in bed. I'm just like looking at the ceiling, just go, what did I do with my life? What did I and I fall asleep and I wake up in the morning. I look over and the dude's laying there and he's on. I mean, he didn't even take his painter's pants or nothing, and he'd fallen asleep with the cigarette. And his fucking hair was,
oh my God.
And he had it, and he just looked like shit. The guy had like, I don't mean to talk bad, but.
No, it's fine.
But I look over it, and he's got one eye. One eye's like crusted open looking at me, but he's fucking passed out asleep. And I roll over and look and see that. And it just looked like Schmeagol just sitting there. And we were leaving that day, and I went and packed everything up, and we got back, and I was like, dude, this is it. I want my check, and I'm quitting, And he's like, who are you? I said, dude, no.
Yeah.
And, And then he called me back the next week. I was like, what if I give you this amount of money? Will you come back? You don't have to work with me anymore. I was like, okay, all right, fine. I'll come back then. But, man, that Schmeagol, man, I'd never seen such an ugly sight. He looked just like that dude.
Oh, it's precious.
Oh, my God.
Fuck, I just woke up. It's like, that's when you have that oh shit moment where you're like, what the fuck have I done? What have I done? I'm stuck in Casper, Wyoming, one of the worst places on the planet. And I'm sleeping in a fucking Super 8 motel next to fucking Schmeagol with one eye crusted open staring at me, I'm like, fuck this shit. I think I went down to the lobby and had one of their fucking shitty deviled eggs or whatever.
Let me say, I agree, because when I had the job at McDonald's, there were like 3 days during the summer when I had to work until like 5:30 a.m. when the next shift was coming in.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's like, and they looked at us and they were like, what the fuck are you doing here? And we're like, cleaning this shit up. Because we had customers in McDonald's until 1 a.m.
Right.
So it's like, do you think I'm doing this because I enjoy it?
Yeah, you were. I know who you were working for at the time too. Probably, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say any names because I painted the McDonald's over there in Powell.
Yeah.
And that was a real treat.
But it's like
he had us over there, and we're trying to paint the drive, everything in the drive up, and people are going. I mean, in Powell, everybody. That place is busy. I'm like, dude, like, I mean, can we do this? What? There's no other time to do it. You just got to do it,
But it was crazy that I was supposed to work only from like 9 till 11, yet I was there till 5 a.m. And it's like
making $8.50 an hour.
Yeah.
And then on the overtime.
Yeah.
And then you're getting screwed on the overtime because they're taking more out of your taxes. That's always fun. What a joke.
But it's like, that's when I reconsider. I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Yeah, and those are the times, man, where you're just like, wait a minute, man.
Yeah.
It's like, what in the, it's like anything's better than, I mean, I know when I came home, I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. Nobody would hire me because of my record. I'm like, what the, but, it worked out, and all for the better. I mean, the best thing that happened to me was nobody hired me, and I didn't go back to working for somebody. Oh God! Impeach him, Joe Biden, savage for sending. We're still sending oil. I mean, we're still exporting oil.
Yeah.
And he dumped, and he dipped into the strategic reserves. He's been doing it. This is like the third time he's done it, and then he takes credit for it. It's like, dude, the strategic reserves were put in place
for whenever we need the money.
Trump was the one that put it there. He turned it around and got us energy independent, and then this dipshit just takes credit for it. It's like he took credit for the vaccines.
Yeah.
It's like, they come out and say, well, there's no vaccine until Joe Biden. It's like, no, there was, and there's video of Corn Pop getting his jab before he even took office. All you 81 million beautiful fuckers that allegedly voted for him. Got bullshit. Come on, man. Allegedly. I mean... It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, why would they even worry? I mean, he obviously showed that you can win the presidency just by sitting in your basement and getting hair plugs and getting your wig tightened up, I guess. I don't know, because he went in looking one way and then he came out looking like somebody just grabbed the back of his skull, peeled it back, and stapled that fucker with one of those hand staplers that you put fucking Tyvek on the side of a building with.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. And then Pelosi, she looks the same. I wonder what's under that. She's got to have that wig. Dude, I bet. Can you imagine what she looks like in the morning?
No, but
my God.
Let me say, I'm just excited for these, not these elections this year, but like the next elections in a couple of years. When hopefully DeSantis takes over the Republican side and I have Newsom or whoever takes over the Democratic side, and it's just two brand new people, and it's like, good.
I don't know that it's going to be that way, though.
Yeah.
Because you're always going to have these...
Trump,
if we get... The thing is the only way I see any of it ever getting any better, you've got to get rid of, number one, it's always the same people that are in the cabinets.
Yeah, Pelosi.
Like in the cabinets, though, like the Steve Mnuchins, like the secretaries, right? These people that they're appointed to be in the cabinets. And it's a revolving door. Like Liz Cheney from Wyoming, this is my prediction. She's very unpopular right now. She's not going to win Wyoming again. This is just my call. I'm saying she's gonna lose this next one, and then she's going to end up going to work for Raytheon or Lockheed Martin or one of the military industrial complex companies. Because look who her dad is.
Yeah,
I mean, she's a warmonger, and she's going to go do that shit. So she's going to become a lobbyist, and she's going to keep trying to perpetuate war. She's going to keep throwing money at these politicians that. And they're going to take it and they're going to vote the way that she wants them to. I think they're grooming her for this. There's even talk about she wants to run for president. I don't think that's going to happen, but she might end up on a vice presidential ticket with that fucking Newsom or something. Who knows? She switched parties because she's going to have to switch parties after this whole January 6th nonsense. Yeah. And I looked it up last night. I was looking up that Ray Epps dude, And we've talked about him. You've watched the videos of the guy on the 6th. And I mean, you and I have seen the videos. Yeah. I watched them last night. And I'm going to play him again right now. Because this dude was certainly inciting the whole thing. And they said, no, he didn't. He was actually trying to talk these people down. He was not. He was not. There's only one video left as of last night. And I should have saved it just to make sure I had it. But he's out there telling them, we have got to go into the Capitol tomorrow. And he was number 16 on the most wanted list. He got an attorney. And the attorney went in and they fed a bunch of bullshit. And he never, they were calling him a Fed when he was telling them to go in. They were sitting there going, Fed, Fed, Fed. The people that he incited to go in, they were calling him out when he was doing that. I mean, he was one of them that just, I mean, it's like, how can you go from number 16 on the list? I mean, here's a, I'm going to pull this up I'm going to get the monitor up. If any of y'all haven't seen this, and if you're buying the horse shit that they're telling you, then you're stupid, because this dude right here, he needs to be right there with the rest of them. You hear this? Listen, what? No. See? Listen. Listen, no. Peacefully. Okay, but you're still talking about going in.
Yeah.
Now, I was looking today because I'm in the middle of writing an article that has to do with some stuff going on with the Wyoming legislature, and I was looking at what I need to do to actually go down to the, to the proceedings. And I would have to have a suit, a tie, slacks, and, which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, I just got hand tattoos showing. That's all. I'll wear some white Michael Jackson gloves. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got press passes and everything, so it's not a big deal. But, I mean, to go into the Capitol, I mean, I've been on a tour of the Capitol. We had to set it up through my brother.
Yeah.
We had to show up at a certain time. We had to go through security. I mean, it was actually an enjoyable day. It was cool. It was really interesting going through that. I mean, you don't really understand the, I don't know if you've been in there. I mean, you lived in Baltimore, so I don't know.
Cheyenne or?
No, in D.C.
Oh, yeah.
At the Capitol,
I've
yeah.
been there, yeah.
Have you been? Okay,
Yeah.
so you've been in like the rotunda and all that? Yeah. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
great.
overwhelming. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, just the magnitude of everything. You're just like, and then you're walking down the halls and you're seeing all the senators and their names on their offices.
No.
I mean,
let me say that I love DC because it's like you just walk from the Capitol to
you go down to the mall or whatever.
It's like
we
you
did
have all
that
the
one.
museums around. It's like
there's so much stuff that you can. There's so much history there. I mean, but I don't do very good there for too long.
Let me say that when I was healing from the brain injury, my wife used to take me there.
Yeah.
And I just pick a random museum every week or whatever that I was there, and I was like, all right, let's go through there.
And I've never even been in the Smithsonian. I've heard you.
Oh,
I mean, you
my
could
God.
spend weeks in there.
Yeah,
weeks.
It's huge. It's
I've been to the Capitol, and I've been down on the mall, to the Lincoln. I've walked from Lincoln to all the way up to the Washington and gone through the the Vietnam Memorial, the World War II Memorial, the Korean.
No, but the crazy thing about the Smithsonian is that from 2014 to now, it's changed so much. It's like
the last time I was there, I think was 2017, and Josh and I went out there for a fam rally that was up on the lawn at the Capitol, and we didn't really do much else that time other than go to that thing, and then we ate a lot of good food and drank quite a bit.
No, but they have so much good food in DC. It's like
they
Ethiopian
do.
food. It's like
they put Old Bay on everything though.
Yeah.
Everything's got Old Bay on it, but they do have good food. I'm trying to remember we were at this restaurant that's right there on Capitol Hill. Like we saw all kinds of senators and representatives. I mean, and it was funny because we were sitting there at the bar, and we're doing like oyster shooters, and drinking and everything.
Yeah.
And we're watching like Democrats, Republicans. They're coming in and they're getting tables together. They're drinking together. They're carrying on. They're friends.
Yeah.
But yet when they're on the TV,
they are like bickering at each other.
So anyway, here's this guy, right? So this guy. See, they're chanting "Fed, Fed, Fed, Fed."
Yeah.
He's getting everybody going.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Cruz brings him up too. But somehow he managed to get an attorney that was able to say, no, he didn't do that. He was just trying to settle everybody down. Did that sound like settling everybody down?
No.
He was telling everybody as soon as the president's done,
exactly.
we're going.
It's like we're going.
I mean, he's getting them wound up. And then this guy owns a ranch down in Arizona where he does weddings like on the weekends. I've seen him try to go down there and interview him. He drives around in a golf cart. They tried to talk to him. He's like, get the fuck off my property, pretty much. There's, they said that he used to work for the FBI.
Yeah.
They deny it. They deny. It's all just a cover up, man. It's the same thing as what happened in Michigan when they tried to kidnap the governor of Michigan.
Yeah.
That was all feds that orchestrated that. And they tried to make it out to be it was feds that came in and riled these good old boys up. Without that happening, and that's how this works. I've seen it happen. I've talked to guys I was locked up with. Same thing. The feds would come in, they'd infiltrate their group.
Yeah.
And then they would they'd gain the trust of this guy or that guy or whatever, and they'd be like, oh no, he's cool.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, boom, guess what? You got a RICO case on you. You know? I mean, you're gone for 20 years, and it's entrapment, but that's how they do it. They coerce you into committing a crime, and then turn around and bust you for it. I mean, that's not how it's supposed to be.
No.
I mean, when you're talking about people that probably would have never been involved unless they, I mean, he was talking to a bunch of young men that were wound up. They were upset, and he was fueling the fire. And then nothing happens.
Yeah.
He's number 16 on the list. Nothing happens. There was a guy here from Cody. He got charged with 4 different charges. He doesn't live here anymore. I think he moved to Tennessee. I'm not going to say his name. I was trying to find him. I thought maybe he was here because I was hoping to interview him. I wanted to talk to him, but he's gone. They left, and they showed up out here, and he got indicted, and he got charged with he's getting sentenced sometime in the future. He pled guilty. I think he got a deal, or he agreed to a deal. I mean, but I don't know, man. They've come up with all kinds of crazy footage.
Yeah.
They brought in an ABC producer to do the whole thing, and Liz Cheney's behind it all.
Oh my God!
I mean, the thing they're doing, they're just trying to come at Trump so he can't run again. They don't understand though that even if he doesn't run, whoever he backs, he's gonna be out there and he's gonna be the one speaking at all the campaign events. So even if they do say they come up with something where he can't run again, and it's DeSantis, he'll be out there like opening for DeSantis.
Yeah.
Like he'll be the opening act, like getting everybody wound up to bring him out, And that's what he did to get. I mean, DeSantis got elected because Trump was behind him, and Trump doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a fact. I mean,
no, it's like in Wyoming. Let me say, like Harriet Hageman. It's like she stopped at the liquor store 3 times.
Yeah.
And the last time she stopped, it was like last weekend, and she stopped at like 10:15, and then she comes over with her 2 assistants, who are girls in her 30s, and she buys alcohol for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Wait, you're old enough to vote." She's like, "You vote? Are you gonna vote?" And I was like, "I don't know. I mean, it's like,
what are you gonna do for me?"
Yeah.
Well, and I want to talk to him as well because there was a law. The thing I was writing an article about, and I'm still in the process of it. I don't want to give any of it away. But I would like to talk to her, and there's a few state representatives that I want to speak with about this whole thing, and it's something that's been on my mind for a long time. I've considered it unconstitutional, and it appears that they finally did pass the legislation, and it should be in effect, but it's not being followed.
Okay.
And I'm like, today I started getting into it. I'm like, wait a minute. This was supposed to go in effect on the 1st of this month, and I'm seeing evidence that they're just ignoring it, and no one's saying a word. And this has been something that's been on my mind for a while. I've spoken about it on the show, and I didn't even understand. I started looking into it. I didn't understand that there was actually a House bill that had gone through, and they passed it. And it was supposed to go into effect on July 1st, and from what I can see, it hasn't. Yeah. So, I mean, that'd be interesting. Where's she live? Here?
She lives in Cheyenne.
Okay, but she's been up here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to. That'd be an interesting person to talk to because, quite frankly, I was trying to get with the People's Party, and I was like, look, you guys don't got anybody running this state. Why don't you just put me up? I mean, obviously, I'm not the best candidate in the world, but I mean, it's like somebody needs to, I would love to. I mean, there'd be no chance. I don't have the money.
Yeah.
There'd be no way. But just to be able to go on a stage and debate Liz Cheney would be. I mean, I just for the hell of it.
No,
I mean, to call her
next time I see her, I'll just ask her for her phone number.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, tell her to say, hey, you'll get a even though I can't even though I can't vote, but
yeah.
I mean, tell her she comes up and I mean, I'm not trying to bribe votes or
No.
anything. I just like to talk to her. It'd be fun to have an interview with her because I would like to see where she's coming from because somebody's got to do. I mean, Liz Cheney is not it.
No,
you know,
she's
not,
herself.
She doesn't give a shit about anybody in this state. She doesn't even stay here. She's never. I mean, she just.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put a wig on her dad, they'd look exactly the same. You know, I mean, and if that is not evil, if Dick Cheney is not evil incarnate, I don't know what is. I mean, when you go get drunk and you shoot your friend in the face on a hunting trip, and then you make your friend apologize to you, like, I'm sorry you shot me in the face, Mr.
Like,
Vice
what?
President. It was my fault. You shot me in the face when we were all drunk and we were duck hunting or whatever. You know, I mean,
It's like, wait, what?
are you shitting me? I mean, that dude was always evil, man. He always had that. I mean, he should even be able. How many heart attacks that motherfucker have? Fuck, he had it. I don't even. I mean, he always be there. He had that snarl on his face. He was one of those get off my lawn type guys. I'll bet him and Biden probably hang out together.
Yeah.
Corn pop.
But I don't know.
Fucking
It just made me laugh that
Yeah, that is funny.
that Harriet Hageman asked me for my vote, and I'm like,
Yeah, you're like,
I'm just
well, what are you
trying
gonna
to
do?
do
Yeah,
my
you say, what are you
job.
gonna do for me?
yeah, it's like I'm just trying to work here.
Yeah, and that's what you ask him. What are you gonna do for me? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing, because these politicians, it's just like kids running for high school office. I'm going to put a pop machine on every corner, and the food's going to get better in the cafeteria. Well, you
It's
damn
like-
sure know that the fucking, you know, the school board's sitting there going, fucking dumbass. But whichever kid can come up with the best lie is going to get voted in. It's the same thing in politics. It's just on a grander scale.
Yeah.
Everything is a microcosm. You know, I mean, no matter what you're looking at, I mean, economically, you know, politically, it all it's just the same thing. It's just it starts off like when you're in school, it's just a smaller version of it, and then you get to this shit. I mean, these people are the same.
Yeah.
These are the same motherfuckers that ran for, ran for student council in high school and got up at the pep rally and said, we're going to have hamburgers and pizza every day.
Yeah.
And then everybody went, oh, vote for Joe, vote for Joe. You know, and then Joe goes in and to the student
like,
council meeting, and you got a
sorry.
teacher in there. He's looking at all of them like, shut the fuck up. You know, you guys ain't got shit coming. There's no pop machines.
Yeah.
You can't have any Mountain Dew, and we're not having pizza and hamburgers. You're going to eat chicken a la king and fucking slop on a fucking shingle, you know. Shut the fuck up, and, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they had any poll or anything,
No.
and we'd all say, hey, Joe's really going to change things this year.
Nope.
It's going to get better, you know. Same thing with this.
Yeah.
Oh, if we vote for him, then no.
No.
These people are just sock puppets, and
Yeah, no.
there's people way above them that nobody even knows about.
Yeah.
They got their hand right up their ass, and they're working them like a sock puppet.
But yeah,
I mean-
it just made me laugh that it's like
Yeah, that's
out
funny.
of everyone.
I mean,
in Wyoming-
come on, how much of a grifter do you got to be to go into the liquor store at Walmart and you're gonna sit there and
try to
you're
talk
gonna
to the guy.
grift the guy that's working as the
Yeah.
the clerk in there. You know?
It's like, oh, you can vote, right? It's like, yeah.
No, that's what you say. No, I don't vote. I'm a non-participant. That's what I mean. I would love that if it's just one of those hypothetical, idealistic things that runs through my head. But it would be so funny if just everybody just decided, nope, we're not playing. We're not voting any of y'all in. None of you. We're 335 million people, and we don't give a shit what you have to say. We're done with you. We're moving the capital to fucking Hastings, Nebraska, or whatever. You know, whatever. You know, someplace nicer than that, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, someplace in, I don't know, someplace here in Wyoming.
Yeah, exactly.
Matitsi. That'd be a great place to move the capital. Matitsi. You know, or I don't know, Manderson. I don't know. Shell.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's beautiful out there, though.
Yeah.
It's a really nice area. I don't know.
Caribou.
And then just say, you know, we're done with you guys. Y'all can
Yeah.
sit there and cannibalize yourselves over there in D.C., and you can have your little, you know, declare whatever you want. But guess what?
We're
You guys
done.
are like a couple thousand, and we're millions,
Yeah.
and we're done. I mean, that, you know, just be like, we're done with it. I mean, that's what it's going to take.
No, but I swear, it just
Otherwise,
made me
it's
laugh.
never.
that
Yeah.
She gave me her pamphlet and everything.
Oh
and
God, she was
as-
carrying it with her
yeah.
in the liquor store.
Yeah. As soon as she
See-
stepped out, I was like,
See, that's that right there. That gives me a God damn it.
What?
I don't like that.
No.
I mean, I understand you're a politician. Every vote's going to count,
Yeah.
especially at the state level or whatever.
Exactly.
But I mean,
But it's like,
when you've only got one representative, but
let me say, it's like my in-laws. I think they watch enough Fox News that they're like fed up with Liz Cheney, so now they switch their vote to Heather Hageman or whatever.
yeah.
Oh
I mean,
God.
we're gonna have to watch some of this. There's debates and stuff up
Yeah.
here. What's the polls say? That's her, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know what she looked like. Oh, she's been on Hannity. Oh
Yeah.
boy. Oh my God. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. She doesn't look like. Oh. That wasn't what I expected.
What?
Well, I have never seen her. I
No.
knew I knew the name.
No.
I mean, I'd looked into it because like I said, I contacted the People's Party and
No, but
because I was like, put me up there for fuck's sake. I don't care.
No, but the first time she came over to the liquor store, I just served her as another employee, as another customer. I was like, okay, whatever.
She looks pretty grifty.
Then the second time I was like, okay, I guess she liked it or whatever. Then the third week is like, wait, you're that lady from TV.
What was she doing up here?
Just campaigning. Yeah.
I didn't even know that there was any events, but I know what's going on a national level. I don't pay a lot of attention to. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, she looks pretty grifty.
No, she's campaigning heavily in Cody.
Yeah,
it's like,
well, she's gonna win.
Yeah,
she's gonna win. There's no doubt about it. But I really honestly had never seen it. I was just like, oh. I mean, you don't know, man. She's got that same politician's air about her, Especially if she's carrying goddamn pamphlets around going into the liquor store.
It's like
go in the liquor store and grift a little bit.
It's like the lease place.
Yeah, it's like leave it out there. Leave it outside. Don't bother the guy that's checking you out in there.
It's like, listen, I've got enough shit to do around here. It's like,
let me do my job.
Yeah.
Here's what you owe. Just
just move on.
Just go over there, outside somewhere. I just get the fuck out of my face. You're fucking annoying me. But I mean, and that's the problem. That's what they all are. I mean, you look through any of these. All of them are just a bunch of grifters. They're all a bunch of charlatans. I mean, tell me, look, she looks just like Dick Cheney. I mean, what do we got? Who are these fuckers? How Wyoming voters are reacting to Representative Liz Cheney's seat on the January 6th. I don't think anybody's too happy about it. Where's this coming from? And what is this guy yelling about?
No, the next video is good. Former.
It's CNN. I'm not putting that on. I don't do CNN at all. They're not a news organization.
Oh my God.
They are the worst. Anybody that employs Brian Stelter. I mean, they're just terrible. What do we got here? We got Kevin McCarthy. Oh, he endorses Liz Cheney's primary opponent.
Yeah, it's.
Okay, so he endorses. Hey, okay.
Yeah.
Look at her. Yeah, there's her money. Yeah, I mean, she's done, but there's a bigger picture that she's got.
Yeah.
She's gonna use the revolving door. She's gonna go to the military-industrial complex, and she's gonna become a lobbyist for one of these big ass places that makes bombs to blow up brown people. Or to fight Russia, because that's where we're headed. It's World War III.
Yeah, but her mistake was like, as soon as they started investigating Trump, she decided to jump in, and then that's when she doomed her career. Yeah.
But I don't know that she doomed her. It could have been calculated. It could be. I would say it was calculated. I would say that her daddy said, "You're going to get on board this."
Yeah.
And then you're not going to get your seat back, but you're going to go work for. I guarantee it. You watch.
True. Yeah.
You watch. She is going to end up at Raytheon,
Yeah.
Lockheed Martin, Grumman, one of those places.
Yeah.
And when World War III starts, because of corn pop up there, she's going to be raking in millions because she's going to be a lobbyist, and she's going to have a bunch of those Democrats behind her because of her position that she took against Trump.
Yeah.
And Trump doesn't want no more war. Like, if Trump was in office, this shit wouldn't be going on.
Yeah.
This would not be happening. Putin wouldn't have done what he did. We wouldn't have shut down all our energy. I mean, we would have come through the pandemic, and I mean, the economy was booming before the pandemic. You know, I mean, it was all by design. It's all by design. It's all been set up. I wouldn't doubt that she was put up to do this on purpose. It was like, look, you can make $140,000 a year as a representative, or you can jump on this thing and jump on the grenade, and then I got you. Daddy's probably like, with this snarky little look, I got you a job. You're going to sidle in there and be a CEO of one of these big fucking bomb producers. And then you're good, and then she'll come back into politics. Yeah. And she'll come make her grand entrance again. You watch and see. I'm calling it right now. I can almost guarantee it.
Let me say that now that Finland and Sweden have joined NATO, it's like fuck.
Well, it started off with 12 and they weren't supposed to expand, and now it's what, 32? 32 something. I mean, that's why the whole thing's going on in Ukraine.
Yeah, but it's like, how quickly did they join NATO? It's like,
well, we've been trying to. NATO's been trying to do this since 2014, and unfortunately for Ukraine, they're just like the proxy sacrificial lamb. Yeah, because those people are getting killed and getting blown up and having their country destroyed. Because NATO, this is what they want to do. They've been. I mean, the guy even came out. The new guy that came in the other day, he came out and said it. He goes, well, we've been working on this since 2014. I mean, I've got a bunch of notes on it somewhere. I don't have them in front of me. I think I set them up there on the other table, but
it's fine.
I watched a bunch of that stuff the other day, and I mean, this has been something that's been in the work. It's not like this just all of a sudden happened. This was anticipated. It was expected. It was desired. They wanted Putin to do this, and Putin had his hands tied, and so he had to, and he's nutty anyways. I mean, reading reports on him in the KGB, they said he was a loose cannon. That was their concern with him. They were like, this guy is just he's a hazard. He's a danger. Yeah, because he didn't care about himself or anybody else. He would just take risks they were like, this guy is too risky. Yeah. So you put a guy like that in that position, and that's what they wanted, because, I mean, they want to take out Russia, I mean, because look at Russia's got, they got all this gold, the natural, it's all about resources. Yeah. That's all it is, man. It's resources. And the crazy thing is that we have more here in this country, but we got to hold on to ours. We got to take it. We got to go take everybody else's. And then, when it comes down to it, but I mean, we're talking a long ways off, Yeah. In the whole fossil fuels argument, I mean, I'll just say, if you have any qualms about the idea that the oil that comes out of the ground has anything to do with fossils, look into it. Look it up. Do some homework on it. If you think that there were that many dinosaurs piled on top of each other that ended up 6,500 feet under the Earth's surface, and we can go through 21 million barrels of oil. Think about that. 21 million barrels. How many dinosaurs is that? And you think that, the dinosaur died, so it sat on the crust of the Earth, and so you have bacteria, bugs, carrion being.
But then it's like 21 million barrels a day.
A day. For how many years has this been going? And how many dinosaurs is that? Yeah. I mean, even if you got 1 million barrels of oil out of one dinosaur, that's one day. Yeah. And how many dinosaurs were there? I mean, there wasn't billions of dinosaurs. They had to have space. Yeah. They had to have enough habitat. I mean, you had plant eaters, you had meat eaters. Sure, they were all over the place, I guess, but they still had to have their space. Yeah, just exactly. Like any wild animal. You can't just put them in an apartment complex. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what are the brontosaurus standing on top of another brontosaurus on top of? I mean, these are those fuckers were 8,500 feet long, and they're huge. I mean, the plant matter that they would have a brontosaurus had to eat in a day was,
it's crazy. Yeah.
I can't remember the dimension of it, but you're talking about a lush area of vegetation. Yeah. You're talking, I think they said it was the size of a football field. So, I mean, they can't be that populated. Yeah, I know. And then when they die, I mean, and the crazy thing is I'm finding gastroliths up there on the surface. I mean, if I'm finding the rocks that they had in their gizzard and they're on the surface, and I'm finding all these other fossils on the surface, I haven't even dug any excavation out there. There's a couple places I'd like to, but I don't know the legalities of it, and I just go out there and rock hound. but it leads me to believe that, I mean, how can I sit there and when I'm on a plateau that's at 65 feet or 6,500 feet elevation and I'm looking out to the east and I see Oregon Basin and I know how deep those wells are and that's where the oil's coming from.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of those oil wells that they capped off, they've gone back and now they're producing oil again. So that leads me to believe that oil is abiotic, that it's something that's coming from the earth.
Yeah.
It's not from, they say, oh, there's big plants too. The big plants were being eaten by the big fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah.
How did they get 6,500 feet? Well, it's like, I don't know. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it, man.
Yeah.
I don't buy it at all, I mean, and if the earth keeps getting, I mean, how are they say, well, the earth got bigger from the, no. It didn't get bigger. The earth can't get bigger. Matter can neither be created nor destroyed. That's one of your science laws. Everybody wants to argue science too. It's like, we're idiots.
Yeah.
We're like monkeys with thumbs. I mean, look at how good we did on the whole COVID thing with science. That was a complete clusterfuck.
Yeah.
We didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Nope.
You had a cookie gnome out there saying one thing one week, one thing the next day. I mean, lying and
God.
making shit up, and everybody's making shit up.
And everyone got COVID, so it's
and then people like Joe Rogan is getting chastised. I got cut off fucking YouTube twice. I lost 3 weeks on YouTube because I just told the truth. And now what I said, I mean, have I got an apology from them?
No.
No. Never will. I'm citing medical information. And then you got a kid like this fucking idiot in Illinois that's making videos that's getting 1 million fucking views about doing school shootings, showing violence and sick ass shit on, and it's just up there. I mean, we can still see it.
Yeah.
Yet I get cut off because I cite medical paperwork and I speak about my personal experience and advise people that I'm not telling them what to do, but I'm just saying this was my experience and I'm just telling the truth, and I get taken down. And I'm nobody.
Yeah.
And this kid's got over 1 million fucking views, and he's putting out school fucking murder fucking videos.
Yeah, let me say, I got COVID, my mom got COVID, my wife got COVID,
Yep.
my sons got COVID. It's like
everybody got it. Everybody got it, or they're gonna get. I mean, everybody got it, and it's not even a thing. It's not. They don't even talk about it anymore. It's not even. I mean, when was the last time you heard anybody talk about it?
Oh no.
I mean, except for maybe the fucking big pharma coming out with their, we're gonna keep making money. New vaccine. New vaccine for what?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see anybody even being concerned with it, except for like maybe idiots in New York City making their kids still wear masks.
Yeah.
I mean, and you look at the psychological damage that does to a child. It doesn't matter how old, even high school kids. I mean, that's how that's how, those are developmental years in your socialization. Yeah. And when you felt like everybody you look at's got a fucking mask on, I mean, there's definitely some psychological damage that goes on there, and especially when you get chastised for not wearing the fucking thing, I mean.
Let me say, after I got COVID in the liquor store, I couldn't wear a mask because I was like, what's the point? After I
got better for the first few weeks, I would put one on when I'd go into a store just because I didn't know, and I didn't want to be responsible for getting like an older person sick or something like that, because what I went through the first time I got it was pretty bad. It almost killed me, and I didn't want anybody to go. So I did. It was probably a month. I would wear one. But only when I would go inside a store.
Yeah.
And then it was just a bandana. Because tell you, I deal with respirators and masks. At least I did on a daily basis. I know the size of the pores on those masks and what will or will not work. And the N95s, if you sneeze behind one, it'll knock the thing down. But then you're going to touch the thing.
Yeah.
And it's going to come through you're going to touch something.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, though, to develop the immunity, that's the thing. You want your kids out there flopping around in the mud, getting dirty, licking rocks and eating bark. And that's how you develop immunities. And I think that was the big problem, too, with the lockdowns, is that you put a bunch of people inside and they can't go anywhere. Well, your immune system deteriorates very quickly.
Yeah.
When you're not exposed, like bacteria and viruses are kind of what keep us alive. Because without having those and having interaction with them, then you lose your immunity real quick to things, and then you get exposed. Like there was a huge wave after the first lockdown because everybody had been inside.
Yeah.
not going, and you go out into the real world, and all of a sudden you get hit with the shit that you didn't, that you were used to, and boom, all of a sudden now your immunity has dropped. Yeah, I mean, instead of just telling people to eat well and take vitamins and and just go about their daily life, people lost everything. Business. I mean, it was just it was all. I don't know. I mean.
It was insane.
It was
insane that we allowed ourselves to get put through
that. And then the crazy thing is that so many people were shut down for speaking the truth on it.
Yeah.
And, never got an apology about it. Never got any kind of justification on it. I mean, not that I was never certainly looking for any justification about anything. I was just trying to tell people, hey, this is what's up. This is, here, look at this information. And you be the judge of it yourself. You make your own conclusion. But I mean, it's like unless you're presented with information from different different avenues, you can't just listen to one side of things and then just I mean, there's always two sides, and there's a truth somewhere in the middle, and there's a truth somewhere on each. I mean, there's a lot of gray areas and shit.
Yeah. But you know what? When you came over to a liquor store that first time, I wasn't wearing a mask because I was like, I just barely got out of this bullshit. So it's like, what's the point?
No, and I wasn't either. And I mean, I wore one for just a little while. Yeah. Just because I knew what I went through, and I at the time, I just was thinking about, I was like, okay, if I go in someplace and I don't, I felt like I don't know what this thing is. If I were to transmit it to some elderly person or something, and they were to die, and I was like, I can't live. I don't want to be responsible for that. I was adamantly against it until I got sick with it, and afterwards, I was like, I don't know how long I'm gonna, be contagious or whatever, And so I just thought, okay, this is not a big deal. I can go into the store. I'll just put the fucking thing on and try and use the hand sanitizer. I tried to be responsible because I didn't know. I didn't want to be responsible for somebody else going through that because that would have killed. I mean, with what I went through with it the first time, I mean, had somebody like my mom or grandmother got that, it would have killed. Them. It would have killed them. I mean,
no, but let me say, it just makes me laugh that at Walmart, I'm the only guy crazy enough to work liquor store on Friday night. So it's like I missed the first week, and they're like, all right. Then the second week, they're like, how are you feeling? I was like, still like shit.
I remember that. You're like, you ready to come back or what?
They're like, you want to come back? I was like, dude, which part of I still feel like shit don't you get? They're like, well, if it's not you, then we don't have anyone. It's like, fuck.
That's when you're like, okay, well, we're renegotiating this deal.
It's like, fuck.
Yeah, how about 55 an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we should probably wrap it up.
That sounds good.
That was a good show. It was fun. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We just kind of cut it up tonight.
No, it's fine.
It always goes where it goes.
Yeah.
But we're going to take you out with some more Brandon Hart, I guess.
Sounds good.
All right. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? All right. Let's see. Let's put old butthole back up here.
Maybe we should play Meatloaf.
Meatloaf? Then we definitely get a copyright on that. I don't even want to hear that shit. Fucking Meatloaf. What do we got here? We'll just do the. I don't know. Here we go. All right. We're out. Peace.
See ya.
I've been up